wonky mixer here. Noreen makes a lot of bread, so when you're mixing bread dough on these things, it really does give it a workout. And this would be the third time I've had to fix this particular problem. The head comes loose because there's 3 screws inside here that just loosen up after a while. So let's go inside and I'll show you how to fix that. Okay, first thing we need to do is take this beauty ring off here by removing this back screw. I have a chucks laid out here to put everything on and keep the tape from getting scratched up. This is one of these medical chucks. They're great for a lot of other uses. Once you get the ring off, there's 4 screws holding the top cover on. 2 on each side here. Just need to take those out. So once you get the cover off, you have the motor here, the gearbox, circuit board, but the screws are underneath the motor here, so you have to take that out of the way. Don't be afraid, and it's really simple to take the stuff out and put it back. Said everything's Phillips head screws. Now you can't get the motor out of the way without taking the gearbox off. Like I said, don't be afraid, there's really not much to it. I have to put that in. I don't want to. On the gearbox cover, you have quite a bit of grease. Just try not to get it everywhere. Once the gearbox cover is out of the way, you can move your motor out of the way. And it's going to be these screws, these 3 screws right here. I've replaced these with Allen head screws because the last time I had the Phillips heads, like I said, I used lock washers and Loctite, so I couldn't reuse them after I put Loctite on them. Okay, so instead of standing here holding the motor the whole time, I actually disconnected it. This wire here was self-explanatory, so it's got its own connector. But these 2 you can get switched back and forth if you're not careful as to how they come off. So make sure you put them back in the right spot. I mean, everything does unplug, you can get out of the way. Now, yeah, these bolts there are kind of loose. Now, see, this time I used lock washers and Loctite. And that still didn't do the trick. Last time I used shake-proof washers, which is little star washers you put on there. That didn't work either, so I don't know what I'm going to try this time. I think I could have designed a better mixer. They should have made tabs that fit down into the bottom part where it can't move around. Okay, I got a couple of combination wrenches here, and I love using combination wrenches because they're so versatile. You can use them for other tasks as well. Like, I can use it to open the door to let the dog in. But you use the box end of your combination wrench. You can put it on there and get a little extra torque on a wrench. That one really is tight. That's out of the 3, only one stayed tight. So Okay, with all that out of the way, now we need to clean up our holes. Get all the old Loctite out of it. And for that I have to get a tap. See, I couldn't really clean up the threads on my old screws here, so I went and got some others, but I don't have the same exact size. I have longer and I have shorter. Now since these holes for the screws go all the way through, all the way down, I can go longer, which I'd rather do than shorter. So, and since this would be probably the last time we'll be able to do this repair, this is like the 4th or 5th time I've done this now, we're going to make it permanent this time. We're going to use, instead of using Loctite because they can't find it, we're going to use some E6000 adhesive. So that's what we're going to use to lock the threads in with. I know it doesn't matter anymore because I said I'm not going to probably be able to fix this again. But when you're using lock washers against a soft metal like aluminum, you always want to put a flat washer in between the aluminum and the lock washer, because the lock washer will just chew up the aluminum and loosen up. I can do the others with leisure. Let's get this cover back up. Okay, I think that'd be good enough. Another good thing about these combination wrenches when you're using them, if you got a really stubborn bolt or rusted on, something like that, you want to try to get it off, you put the box in on the bolt, and then you can use the other wrench to get more leverage on the other wrench. Just hook them there like that. It gives you a lot more leverage. It's an old trick that mechanics use. Put the motor back in place. There we go. Connect the wires. Like I said, this one's self-explanatory. Back on the same spot. And these, I know this one went to here. This one was here. But just kind of move these out of the way so they're not, actually rubbing against to make sure the motor. Okay. Screws back in. All the screws are pretty much the same size, so that you really can't mix them up, except for the really tiny one that goes in last. Let's put the gear cover back on first. There's a little gear in here to make sure that doesn't fall out. So. Go. Have to work it back in place. Okay, this week's beverage of choice was Noreen's Big Batch Iced Coffee, because I'm doing this early in the morning and it's too early for beer. So give that a try, you'll like it. It's all about the measurements. Okay, everything's put back together, tightened down. No extra parts. So let's give it a try. Let's cross our fingers. Low. Okay, everything works. So anyway, that's how you tighten up the head on your mixer if it comes loose. Hope I taught you something you can use. And until next time, hope to see you again.